Hey, what's up, you guys? I wanted to talk about what non-monogamy is to me. So, ethical non-monogamy. Let's talk about it. I believe in respecting each other's mind and boundaries. And if you really care about each other, you're going to obviously know how a person reacts to certain things. Unless you're in this relationship only to take, only to receive, only because you're bored and you want attention. You know, you will not know what your person considers to be disrespectful, or considers to be cheating, considers to be disloyal or betrayal. I notice that people get into polyamorous relationships usually when there's this irreconcilable difference in the relationship where it's not talked about. It's like there's this huge difference, there's this huge hurdle in the relationship that they're not discussing. And if it is being discussed, nothing's being done about it. So one of the persons, one of the people, how do you say that? One of them cheats, right? One of them cheats and essentially expects their spouse to accept it because, well, we're married and this is what it is, and this is the cause to how you've treated me or how things have become unsolved. And when something becomes unsolved, it continues to be a problem. So that to me is not polyamory. That to me is just cheating and wanting your partner to accept the affair, opposed to this is who you are, and you having multiple relationships is normal for you and you can actually manage them. You don't really have a problem, not only not a problem emotionally, but you don't have a problem even financially. It's not something that you have to double think, or it's not something that adds more stress to your life. And so you'll know a poly relationship isn't really poly when the added people creates more stress, meaning, you know, more financial hardship, more miscommunication, a more lack of sex or lack of romance, lack of quality time. Like, the more that starts happening, the more it's not actually poly. And I'm not saying that a poly relationship can't end up that way, where you're like, yeah, I think everything is all good, and then boom, out of nowhere, you know, your person ends up with some new person that you didn't expect, and you're like, what the hell? You didn't tell me about this motherfudger, you know, and you're freaking losing your mind. Yeah, there are those moments, and you could still end up breaking up. But the difference to me is if the person is innately this way, they have always thought this way, in plural marriage, or in plural relationships. Like, this has been naturally normal for them. And so when it comes to seeing people like Adam Levine getting caught writing these over-the-top text messages while married to this beautiful woman, it tells me that either they've had this agreement that this is okay, or that he really doesn't have a connection with sex the way his wife has it. And when men say that they look at sex just like what that is. I think it's not true, because when a woman cheats, though I understand we could go to caveman days, this is about being able to, know that their child is legitimately theirs, makes sense. But when you're continuously cheating during, after, before the relationship, and pregnancy is not an excuse, beauty is not an excuse, being a sweet, cooperative, fit wife is not an excuse, then, and I'm using this verbatim because it's all over social media. People are obsessed with this verbatim. So it's like the woman fits and checks all these boxes, if not more. And it still is happening. I think men have been conditioned to not value their bodies, sex, or their finances when it comes to them being in these kind of affairs. They haven't been taught to value their partner's feelings. They only want to value a woman's feelings if they know that she's not going anywhere. They know she's not going anywhere, but why value a woman's feelings that is going to be like, you know what? Everything you're saying sounds like cuckoo-ness. I'm done. You can move on with your life. And that's it. They don't want a woman like that. They want a woman who's all those things we've mentioned. All the social media hot words, right? And they want to be able to have affairs. And people say, well, it's a rock star thing. No, it's not. It's not a rock star thing. It's a rock star doctor, guy next door, pastor thing. And it's just becoming so unattractive. And women are realizing, do I really want to be on my last fuckable day? My last fuckable day. Worried about, who wants that? No one. Absolutely no one wants to be on their last fuckable day thinking about their husband being with God knows who, and you've had guys in line that you've actually liked that potentially are a better match for you, better communicator, better lover, better at understanding you, shit, even better looking, and you didn't even give those guys a chance to just give you a nice calm evening. A nice romantic evening. I mean, your man's out there, probably eating this girl's, you know what I mean? Not the front part. Probably eating the girl's back part and then coming home making out with you. And you have your baby in your belly with your dumb look on your face. It's just I don't hate nobody's sex style, but it's just sex is so intimate and most men are not using protection. So to me, non-monogamy needs to be set on the foundation of trust and protection. Trust and protection. Maybe you don't care for, the if your man is doing his thing and he has children with other women and all that stuff. But at least care enough during your period of having a pregnancy that he is at least protecting himself. But you have no guarantees with this. So what should a woman do? What should a man do if they get in a relationship and the person continues to have affairs and continues to do these things and they continue to tell you that it's poly and that they're poly, but the people that they're hooking up with is just strictly sex? It's not it may seem through text like they're having, profound conversations, but for the most part, he's just coming over, she's just coming over, and they're hooking up for, several hours, and then, maybe they have a little breakfast or dinner and they go back home. That to me is a purely sexual relationship. And you can't stop somebody from being this way, a person who likes to have an open relationship or affairs or this, that, and the third. You can't stop somebody. You can't make them like something else. But you can have conversations with this person about how you feel loved and respected within this agreement. I am non-monogamous. I've been non-monogamous since I was a kid. I have practiced monogamy. To me, monogamy is when you've only had sex with one person your whole life, and that's it. And that's it. I feel like if you've had sex with more than one person in your whole life, which means that you have had to unlove or go from loving this person to another, that you are poly. However, when you are in a monogamous relationship that you label monogamous, you will practice monogamous things, which is, being faithful and this, that, and the other. But to me, it's like when you decide to get in agreements with these kinds of stipulations, you have to be very fucking bold, very fucking clear, and very, very communicative. For me, it's about all that. Bold, communicative, clear, but also very respectful, because you don't need to be detailing and telling your partners everything, because then it just starts lacking intimacy, and it starts looking like just like this. It's almost like a poly circus of clowns who just want pleasure when they could just say that, instead of making it this whole theatrical emotional thing when there's really no real love. It's just hooking up. And I mean, for women, I think they're starting to realize, I don't really want this. I don't want to be at home making this guy dolphin safe tuna sandwiches, and obviously you're not going to eat it because you're pregnant, and you're making yourself a smoothie, and him, and you did his laundry, and you're you've probably did a modeling shoot with your pregnant belly and made a nice chunk of change, and planning a vacation because he's planned all 500 vacations with you. And then you see on the news that he's blowing Beth's back in the back of the Maybach, right? And then having to issue a public apology for something he's not even sorry about. Non-monogamy can become very complicated if you think it's just about sex. When you're in a monogamous relationship with someone and you are doing non-monogamous things, you are bound to destroy your relationship, because it's like two people driving in two different directions, even though they both have the same driver. You can't drive two vehicles at the same time. You have to live in your truth all the way. If you're a cheater, you're a player, or you're poly, or you are the type of person who needs multiple people, you gotta be clear on why. And just live your life. Because the worst thing is when you have children growing up thinking, it's not that my dad's a player, it's that he's a fucking liar. And that's what it is. I don't think women want to be married to liars. I don't think guys do either. So, I don't know. I think you guys need to do some more research on what a healthy open, or a healthy poly, or a healthy whatever this is can be. Otherwise, we're going to create a pattern of insecure, open relationships. And that's the last thing you want to do. You don't want the thing that's open and flexible and chill to also go to fucking smithereens, right? You don't want that. So, yeah, that's all I had to say. Adam, ciao. You're top tier Dusty. You're a top tier Dusty. Lord. Anyways, I'm out of here.